Hello students, in today's video lesson, I will be explaining on class 9 chapter 6 tissue, plant tissue. The learning objectives of this video are definition of tissue, are plants and animals made of same types of tissues, plant tissues, and the two types of plant tissues, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Okay, before defining what is a tissue, let's define what is a cell. A cell is a structural and functional unit of life. That is, every living organism is made up of cells. Cell and cell combine together to form tissue, and tissue they comes together to form an organ. So we can define a tissue is a group of cells that are similar in structure and function. Blood, muscle, phloem, xylem, etc. are all examples of tissue. Okay, now let's see. Are plants and animals made of same types of tissue? To know this, let's compare plants and animals on the basis of locomotion, growth, death or life cells. Plants are fixed to one place, whereas animals are not stationary, they move from place to place. Plant possess both dead and living cells, while animals have only living cells. In plants, growth takes place only in some region, while in animals, whole part of body undergo growth. Plant tissues. Before we discuss anything about plant tissues, let's see the chart of plant tissues. Plant tissues are broadly divided into two tissues, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissue is further classified into three meristems: apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercalary meristem. Permanent tissue can be of simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue, where simple permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, whereas complex permanent tissue are of two types: phloem and xylem. Plant tissues. On the basis of cell division ability, dead or living cells, and functions, plant tissues can be of two types: meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissue. The cells of meristematic tissue are living. The cells of meristematic tissue can divide or grow. This tissue provides primary and secondary growth. That means it also increases the length of the plant and the size of the plants. Depending on the region where dividing or growing tissues are present, meristematic tissue can be of three meristems: apical meristem, which is present in the growing tips of stem and roots; lateral meristem, which is present in the girth of stem; intercalary meristem, which is present in the base of the leaves and in their nodes. From the given figure, we can easily see the location and function of different meristems in plant body. Apical meristem increases the length of plant. Intercalary meristem increases the length of plant. Lateral meristem increases the girth of stem and roots. Now we have permanent tissue. The cells of the permanent tissue are either dead or living. The cells of the permanent tissue have lost the ability of cell division. This tissue provides support, protection, and storage. This tissue is further classified into simple and complex permanent tissue. Here is a table showing the comparison between simple and complex tissue. Simple permanent tissue consists of only one type of cells, whereas complex permanent tissue consists of more than one type of cells. Cells of the simple permanent tissue are similar in structure and perform similar functions, whereas cells of the complex permanent tissue have different structure and perform different functions. Simple permanent tissue are classified into parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, whereas complex permanent tissue are classified into phloem and xylem. The three types of simple permanent tissue. Firstly, parenchyma. Parenchyma have thin cell wall and are loosely packed. Parenchyma have large intercellular space between the walls. The cell wall of parenchyma is made up of cellulose. Secondly, we have collenchyma. Collenchyma have irregular thick cell wall at the corners. Collenchyma have less intracellular space between the walls. The cell wall of collenchyma is made up of hemicellulose. Thirdly, we have sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma have uniformly thick cell wall. There is no intracellular space between the wall in sclerenchyma. The cell wall of sclerenchyma is made up of lignin. Complex permanent tissue. Complex permanent tissue are of phloem and xylem. Phloem help in the transport of food from leaves to other parts of the plant, whereas xylem help in the transport of water and minerals from the soil to different parts of the plants. Thank you. See you in next video.